Today we're playing the number 9 ranked Miami Hurricanes. This is a big in-state battle for us. Trenton, Florida, just about an hour west of Gainesville. Well, we're making the trek down to Miami. It's a bit of a drive, to be honest, but it's a big brewing rivalry. For some reason, we are ranked number 1 in the nation. I don't think it's a good ranking, personally. Not that I don't like it. I am Trenton State. However, we haven't done all that much to earn this ranking. This is still fairly early in the Dynasty. We're not really as good as it's actually looking at these overalls. We're maybe as good as a lot of these teams. They just keep losing. So I guess the AP voters had no choice but to put us at number 1. I would think that Ole Miss would be in the conversation as an undefeated. Notre Dame plays nobody. And then here's another big Florida school, FSU, who I don't actually think is on the schedule this year. I would have loved to schedule FSU and Florida at least every year, minimum of Florida. It didn't let us this year. It was the scheduling bug. It seems like it's always something with these EA games, unfortunately. But Miami was just on the schedule naturally, so that felt like a pretty good fit. We, of course, joined the ACC. This is now conference play, and there's a lot on the line these next couple of weeks. Here's what I'll tell you about recruiting. Yes, we did already get Shaquille Tolzien. That's a big win. Top 100 player, but looks even better than that. 87 finesse moves, 89 strength, 78 speed. He is a freak pass rusher on the interior. We're trying to add some power, maybe some stopping the run ability with Reed Pfeiffer from Hollywood. Now, Georgia is right there. In fact, there's a pretty high percentage chance that he commits to Georgia following this week. It's a high probability, I would say. I don't know, I'm looking at the meter there. 70% maybe, 60%. It's a little more than half. I could see that just filling up and committing. However, if he doesn't, we have Reed Pfeiffer on a visit next week. Week 6, we're going to get some hours back. He'll be on campus with Darren Lynch. Georgia also really wants Darren Lynch. We will need to win in week 6, where we'll take on nobody. It's a bye week. Oh, no. Yeah, that was just unfortunate timing. We're not going to get Reed Pfeiffer. We might not even end up getting Darren Lynch, unfortunately. Do have 10 skill points here for the coach, but not going to worry about those right now. This is a big matchup against a really, really good team. Game of the week as we head on down south to take on the Hurricanes. And we're going to go in the all-whites. This video is brought to you by Underdog, the best place to play daily fantasy sports and drafts. You can use code Bengal. They've got great specials every single day. Today, for example, for the next 51 minutes, you can have a 50% profit boost on your college basketball entry. I'll probably actually try to take advantage of that. There's some great people to follow on Twitter that have, plays that you can tail. NBA only, of course. And as I always talk about, vulture protection for your running back when you choose touchdowns. These are my plays here for the next couple of days. 15 to win 150 on college football. I know not everyone can play college in their state, but Brock Vandagriff against Texas, lower 131.5 passing yards. Whenever I make these plays, I just think the matchups are good, or at least makes sense. Jeremiah Smith, higher 79.5 receiving yards against Indiana. Bryson Daly, lower 74.5 passing yards. It's the Army quarterback, but he's barely a QB. Sometimes they throw, sometimes they don't. Against Notre Dame, I think they're going to really try to run the ball versus pass. And then Curtis Rourke, I've got lower first half passing yards. I think if Indiana wants to beat Ohio State, they're going to have to shorten the game. And I think it's going to mean running in the first half, but I think they're going to go down, which means maybe more passing attempts in half number 2. Ohio State's pass defense is awesome. I just think Curtis Rourke is in a bad spot. Ohio State's got an excellent pass defense, so that's what I have for college football. And then for NFL, going with J.K. Dobbins, lower rushing yards, pairing that with Justin Herbert, higher passing yards. I think there's good correlation there, and the matchup is good for both. The Ravens have a great run defense. Their pass defense is terrible. C.J. Stroud against Tennessee, one of the best pass defenses in football this year. Stroud has struggled of late. I think this number is just a little bit too high for passing yards. Will Levis to get a passing touchdown. He's been playing better of late, and the matchup's really, really good against Houston. They allow 2 passing touchdowns per game on average. It's one of the highest rates in the league. And then Anthony Richardson's just a rushing touchdown machine, trying to ride the hot hand, and so can you with code Bengal on Underdog, link down below. Here we go. Shocking amount of people in attendance for this one. It's tough for Miami Hurricanes fans because it's not exactly on campus. They got to go to where the Dolphins play, right? At Hard Rock. So it's not exactly the home field advantage that you'd expect. That guy's eyes were crazy. That's how I know he's a Miami student. He's doing the Michael Irvin diet. Anyway, I always forget their Hurricane mascot is like this little weird duck. Such an interesting choice. Anyway, here we go. Getting the football first. Got to start out hot. We are as good as Miami, which this is a team that's beat us pretty badly before. We might actually stand a fighting chance. We are the #1 team in the country. Joey Boozer en route to the Heisman Trophy? Okay, well, I like to hear it. Crowd is getting rowdy. And, you know, there's a tight end that we have that's considering transferring because we don't throw the ball as much as we used to. But we have Joey Boozer now, and he's been such a great player. I'd love for him to actually get out on this. There we go. That's the only way we can call a screen nowadays. Good blocks, and look at Joey Boozer navigating and finding a way to pick up 10 or more. We used to be such a pass-heavy offense. I think we kind of play to the talent, right? You know, sometimes it makes sense. Sometimes it doesn't, as we were looking for Branham there. Could not get him the football. It was Marquise Lightfoot on the pressure. Senior defensive end from Illinois. I believe it's Basher wants to transfer. Durante Basher does not want to be here anymore. Wants more passing yards. This is the problem with playing on the road, is we have A streaking across the field wide open on some type of a post, and I just didn't know the button, so we couldn't get it out there in time. That's devastating. Step up with Streeter. We maybe had a throw to Branham, but just didn't trust it. We're going to be forced to punt. That is a drive really just completely full of what could have been. And that's really not a drive you want to start this game here on the road against a really talented top 10 ranked Miami team. You have to watch out for Dante Little. He's a receiver wearing number 34. I hate it. But he's been pretty good so far this season. Already 3 touchdowns in Miami's 4 games. We'll try to keep him out of the end zone. And we'll have to be aware of the quarterback run. But the football comes out. It's recovered by Christian Ellis, and this one might go all the way. Ellis inside the 5. Touchdown. All right. Well, the quarterback has like negative speed. He wasn't running away from anybody. We were able to get behind him, strip the ball out, and then Christian Ellis, a transfer safety, scoops it up and returns it all the way. Scoop and score. I'll tell you what, offense, they weren't really making it happen, but the defense, they made it happen in one play. And that was the freshman, by the way. The 5-star freshman, #1 ranked recruit in the nation, Byron Willingham. We missed the extra point, but anyway, we're not worrying about that right now. Oh, God. But the 5-star freshman, the #1 ranked recruit in the nation, coming to play on the biggest stage. They're going back to the run. This time with the back, though, and that's a broken tackle. Christian Ellis is there. He and Willingham have been around the football a lot to start, but we've had 2 plays. It's not necessarily that indicative of anything. But I like the way we're playing so far. And there we go. Rich Tobias screaming at the quarterback. And our defense is playing fast and loose to start here. And the Miami crowd, they look like, oh, what is that army? The Terracotta Warriors. Just completely lifeless, made of stone, no reaction. They all have the 1,000-yard stare that the World War I vets had. There's no life in this Miami crowd right now. Good pressure. Way to bring down the QB, and they're going to go play action. We're covering well, but we didn't have anybody on the back. Big pickup on 2nd and super long. And that brings up 3rd and 4. All right. I don't like how all of our responsibilities change there. Let's pinch the defensive line. And we're out of position. Oh my goodness. I mean, nobody was going to be there, but whenever the opposing offense motions, it destroys all of the coverage assignments. It's insane. 2nd and 2. Miami is driving. Definitely want to keep them out of the end zone. There's Mitch Dora making a really nice tackle, but first down is gained by Simpkins. I think we're going to try to blitz here. Got to try to put pressure on the quarterback. We might even send Merriman as well. And Dora, but that's right up the middle. Willingham beat in coverage. Of course, he was in zone coverage. There's supposed to be help there on the inside. We sent those guys after the quarterback, so not entirely on the freshman Byron Willingham. But I would like him to be a little bit better in coverage there. It was Tripucka who just won from the slot, got over the top, found the end zone. Good throw as well. But the freshman beats the freshman. Tripucka runs right by Byron Willingham. 2nd and 11. I do want to get back to some of these screens. You know, they've worked so well for us in the past, and Tyler Branham has been such a great player for us. I mean, a lot of what our offense has been for his career here in Trenton is just get him the football in space and let him go to work. And I'm a little unsure of what the play is. It's a mesh. We're going to find Zach Poole, and we're not going to find him. How do we not have a screen there with Tyler Branham? How does the linebacker make a play on the ball here? Did they run into each other? They did. Classic stuff. That's impressive stuff. Yeah. Well, we're getting used to punting here early. Not really something I want to get used to. Oh, that's a big tackle from Alani Allen. Yep, that's a mistake. Oh, got very lucky. I don't know why I switched on to Willingham trying to make a play. I thought it was a run. Of course, you want to have the safety in the box to stop the run, but not your free safety in zone coverage in that spot when it could be play action. Oh, there we go. Big 3rd down play. Our D-line is going to work today. 2nd time we've brought down Anderson. That was Ciante Crick, the freshman out of Wyoming. Redshirt freshman, but still, it doesn't really matter. Still inexperienced in making plays at a pretty young age for us, as we're going to bring things out from the 20, provided they don't get the most insane bounce of all time. Thankfully, they did not. We got to get back to running the football. We're going to get a 2-point conversion when we score a touchdown. Joey Boozer literally carry us to success. He's a Heisman watch list type of guy. Only 2 attempts so far in this game. In fact, we're going to give him a 3rd. 2nd and 8. I don't love the spot, but I do like how they line up. And Boozer getting some good blocks, showing some good patience to hit the hole and move the chains. Perfect time to take a play action shot. Branham, I think, is going to be open, though. This might not even get snapped here. Yeah, we'll go into the 2nd quarter. All right, we got another receiver in motion. I think we're just going to get out here. I see Poole. I'm going to find Joey Boozer there. Get 4. It's going to be 3rd and 10. Got backed up a little bit. Got to remember these buttons. Poole is RB. That's going to be one that matters a lot. There he is, wide open up the seam. There goes Zach Poole, trying to outrun the Miami defense, and he will. It's a Poole party in Miami. It's amazing what I would have said back in the day. Like, the jokes do pop into my mind. I have more self-control now, which I know doesn't make for entertaining content all the time, but it does age better. Oh my god, some of the clips of me on TikTok, I'm like, man, I really said that, huh? That's an interesting reminder. Anyway, Henry Streeter hits up Zach Poole, and Poole torches the Hurricane defense. Big touchdown, and we will go for 2 to make it a 7-point game. And we probably should have Boozer here in the backfield. We don't even have Poole on the field. That feels like a mistake. Yeah, there was just not really anything there. Unfortunately, the pressure got in. We were forced to throw it. And it's a 2-point conversion, so it doesn't really matter a whole lot. It's like to get intercepted, we just needed to get rid of it. Would have preferred the conversion. Now we're only up by 5. A little bit weird. Miami putting up... Oh, man, we just ran right by that. Miami putting together kind of a nice drive here. They're going hurry up. They're kind of keeping us in a bad spot. And whenever I think they're going to pass the ball, they run the football, and they've been running it really well. Keontae Crick just made a great play. Mitch Doro exploring the Miami backfield. Combines to make that TFL. Here's 3rd and 4, a big third down. They're going to run the football. Mitch Doro's going the wrong way. Can't do that. And the hurry up it's killing us. Don't really want to call a timeout in this spot. We're just going to try to send heat up the middle. Going to go with a double mug look. And that's got to be a pick. Oh, no. We got hands on it. But unfortunately, could not come away with the football. That was the transfer, Quinnen Ford. More running. Swallowed up that time, though. 3rd and 10. It's a big down for Miami. And they're on the edge of field goal range, too. And they're going to call a screen. Get out there. DJ Grimes makes the tackle. Miami gets a short gain. And this is not a gimme field goal. This is from the 39-yard line. 49-yard field goal from the left hash. But plenty of leg and plenty of accuracy. Miami goes ahead and gets right back in it. And they're only going to be down by a safety. 12-10. We need to get some points on the board, man. Clay Ivy, good return, though, to make that happen. Play action. Get on the move. Throw on the run. Is it there for Zach Poole? He never found the ball. What are we doing? Why am I not getting an animation there? Yeah, clap like an idiot. Oh, my God, dude. I don't even think that's that bad of a decision. It's a risky throw because it's on the run. It was a red throw. That's a name. But I feel like Zach Poole was in position to make a play on this. Henry Streeter's been so good at, throwing on the run really his entire career. I'm not sure why Zach Poole didn't get his hands up. We switched on, pressed Y. Just kind of ran right by it. It's unfortunate. I mean, the throw is behind him. I get that. Red throw. You can't rely on a red time throw, but to not even try to go for the ball doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. Good hit, Mitch Dora. We need some more development from our interior defensive linemen. I feel like that's going to be the biggest thing, and that's kind of why I want Reed Pfeiffer in recruiting. A big run-stopping defensive tackle that can, get in the way and just clog the lanes and, stop teams from running inside zone on us every play. And that's what we're seeing here from Miami, and we really haven't had a strong answer to it. It's a little RPO action from the Hurricanes. Their offense has looked pretty good in this one. They got unlucky with the strip, the fumble earlier in the game where Anderson put it on the ground. We returned it for a touchdown. But other than that, their offense has been mostly awesome. They've had some instances where we've made stops on 3rd down and they had to settle for 3, obviously. That was one time, but mostly they've been a really tough team to stop. That's going to be intercepted, though, right on cue. Reverse jinx. Alani Allen trying to house it. He's going to be wrapped up. But another turnover by Anderson. Alani Allen made a great play on, punt as a gunner. And now makes a great play back on defense as a boundary corner. However, Anderson just threw it right to him. Alani Allen's been cooked a lot in this series, but he's also made some big-time plays. He's probably not going to be a starter next season. Former athlete turned corner. He might have been destined to play, wide receiver, but we moved him to the defensive side of the ball. His press is so bad, but and that's part of why he's been cooked. But he's got pretty excellent size at 6'3". He's got very good ball skills, and he's made some big plays for us. That was one of them. Although I'd like to think that any receiver or corner is probably capable of making that play. It's going to be 3rd and 6. Here we go. 3rd and 6. Does it feel stupid to run the football here? They've got nobody in the box, and we have Joey Boozer. We ran right at the defensive tackle. Timeout, Miami. I think we go for it in this spot. I don't think you run the ball there if you're not comfortable going for it on 4th and short. And I honestly think we run it again. There's Boozer. Great blocks. But again, they've got nobody in the box. They think we won't run the ball in that spot. What did I turn into Scooby-Doo? Ruh-roh. We won't run the ball. I lost the Scooby-Doo impression there for a little bit. Anyway, good play there. We're going to be approaching the 1-minute mark. Zach Poole, maybe? No. Nope, 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 nope. Get down, please. We're going to be back to running the football. Risk of injury has gone up now for Henry Streeter. Of course, I picked a play from empty. We're going to get out of that. We're going to give the ball to Joey Boozer. Again, I would feel comfortable going for it on 4th down here. We have decent numbers, but they played that really well. Now I'm considering just taking the points. It's the same spot, 4th and 3. I was really wanting to play for like 4th and 1 there, worst case scenario. We're not going to get greedy a second time. We're gonna take our points. Just gonna make sure we can actually make it this time. All right, we're up 15-10. Miami's got inside a minute and maybe a timeout or two. I think they've got at least one. They have one timeout. One timeout, 56 seconds. It really is plenty of time, but they really haven't moved the ball very well through the air in this one. It's really been mostly on the ground and in the short game, so we'll see what happens when we force them to stretch the field. I feel decent about it. Just keep them in front. It's going to be no problem. I'm almost surprised Miami didn't opt to call a timeout there. But, you know, there's no runoff in College Football 25 when you run hurry up the same way that there is in Madden. So, really not a lot of time coming off the clock there. Jump the route! Oh, no, but he's down in bounds, though, isn't he? Yes, that clock's going to keep ticking. 30 seconds. Miami holding on to those timeouts. I feel like the middle of the field here could be absolutely wide open. We need Morgan Merriman to get depth. Oh, that's going to be picked off by Morgan Merriman. He got depth. Another turnover by Anderson. The 3rd of the first half. I don't know, what are you celebrating? I'm mad. I threw another interception. That was a bad one. I don't think that's there. It's like I'm playing quarterback for Miami in this one. Morgan Merriman, though, has been a ball hawk his entire career. He's a senior. We're not going to have him for too much longer, but he's making plays this year in his final season. It's a big part of why we're the #1 ranked team in the nation. We have 18 seconds to try to get into field goal range. We're going to step up. I thought Streeter would run by him. We have timeouts. We can afford that. I'm not trying to do anything crazy. We're really just playing for 3 here. So a turnover would be not catastrophic, but bad. So I think it's important to kind of play conservatively here as we just try to fit it in tight to Zach Poole. That's a little bit too aggressive. That was an instant contradiction. Streeter's banged up now. We don't know the buttons for any of these guys. Okay, there we go. I think we can put Boozer on a Texas route, ideally. He's not hearing it. Stadium's going crazy. Think we have a step on the outside, though, for Alex Higdon. He makes the catch. Timeout. It would have been nice if that happened on the previous play. Instead, it's just going to set up a field goal, and I think we got to take it. We need our points here. Also, this makes it an 8-point game. We can kind of feel like we didn't miss an extra point and a 2-point conversion. And that's going to just get through. You know, somebody made an interesting point in the comment section that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but it does when I actually play the game, is that when you're on the road, you have to move the kick arrow a whole lot more than when you do when you're at home, which doesn't make any sense to me, but I moved it over a lot there. And it really was only a good field goal by like an inch. So, I don't know. Miami's played so badly in this game, it's bizarre. Oh man, that was definitely an opportunity to get more than a yard there. Not very good after the catch from Trapuka. Already his 4th catch, though. Here's 2nd and 9. Man coverage across the board. And we're sending heat. And that heat gets there again. Rich Tobias for a second time. 3rd and 19. And we're going to turn up the heat again. We're going to send an exotic look. And, I mean, you'd think Rich Tobias might want to go after the quarterback here. But that was a mistake. Or was it? Because Rich Tobias gets there again. 3rd sack of the game. 4th and 26 for the Canes. Rich Tobias is going off. He's only a sophomore. You'd like to think we get him for 2 more years, including, well, not including this one. So, if he can continue to build on this performance, he's going to be an elite player for us That was an awesome, awesome decision, I guess, to change and get him out of coverage and have him rushing the quarterback. Ooh, that's the slowest cut I've ever seen. Salmon's got incredible speed. Couldn't really see it there. But it does exist. We're up by 8. Got to make this a 2-possession game. That's the big thing. 3, no matter what here. In fact, we're going to go 2 clock. And, I mean, the crowd's trying to get in it. They're trying to get rowdy. Joey Boozer has not played a big impact in this game. We tried to spin back with Boozer. As you guys know, win or lose, we booze. But we sure would like to win. Lemons out of the backfield. This is an interesting play. We're going to get it to him. Lemons has a little bit of room here. Lemons, of course, with speed. That should be a first with forward progress. It is. And we're going to go back to Joey Boozer here. We've been a little bit more effective through the air than we have been in recent weeks. But I also don't want to abandon Joey Boozer. He's been such a great player for us. And if he has Heisman aspirations this year, you know, 10 attempts for 50 yards, no touchdowns, probably not going to be enough to keep him in that conversation. I mean, it is so early, though. It's so early in the year. On the move with Streeter. He's going to walk in. Touchdown, Titans. Henry, Streeter. I mean, wide open. If you're going to run man coverage across the board, which they didn't, but they didn't account for the quarterback, and we walk right in. 25-10. It's a 15-point lead. Miami has continued to shoot themselves in the foot. You'd think Plaxico went there. Oh, that's bad. There's Willie Allen, completely beat. That just looked like, was that a whip route? Some type of outbreaker where he was completely lost. This game could be really different right now, but Miami's turned over the football 3 times to just our 1. And I mean, that really has made a huge difference, of course. I'm still waiting for that Byron Willingham interception. It's going to come at some point. I just feel like the strong safety, for whatever reason in College Football 25, makes more of an impact. I know Willingham does have a strip that resulted in a touchdown in this game, but it feels like the strong safety just is around the football more. They're targeted more. That was especially true in Tulane Dynasty. But you know what? Even in Nevada Dynasty as well. And I don't know if that's going to end up being true in Kent State Dynasty on the channel, but it's certainly a possibility. Here's 2nd and 3. Miami going to continue to go hurry up, and can you blame them? It's working extremely well. Ciante Crick down the field, but that's a massive gain, more than 20. Javen Simpkins has 15 for 118. That's just not good enough run D, and that's why we really want Reed Pfeiffer in Trenton. I don't think it's going to happen, though. I think he's going to pick Georgia, which is pretty unfortunate, but that's the reality of going after a lot of these big-time 5-stars, is you will not be getting them. If a team like Georgia wants them at this stage for Trenton State, they're going to get them, right? I think maybe a year or 2 down the line, that's a recruitment we can probably win. But as for right now, it puts us in a tough spot. That might be a legal man downfield. Okay, just surviving the hit sticks, finding the end zone. But I think this one's coming back. That is illegal man downfield, erasing the touchdown. How about 2nd and goal from the 11? And we're also going to send incredible heat again. I don't know why I feel like they're going to run the ball, though. It was not a good decision. They get 2 yards somehow. This is where I might actually consider calling a timeout. I don't love our personnel on the field. I feel like we have mismatches all over. But it's 3rd down. We're going to hope that they can just survive it. They can't. Do you waste a timeout in that spot? I think it might have been worth it. We were in a 4-6 front. We knew they weren't going to run the ball, and we just allowed them a touchdown on 3rd down. We gambled, and it didn't pay off. What do I need those timeouts for in the first place? We're winning. Is it a waste of a timeout if it stops a touchdown there? Got to go with my gut next time. That's a timeout spot probably. Get new personnel in there. Bring out some type of nickel or dime package, because 4-6, I mean, you saw it. Too many linebackers. Just not in a position to make plays. All right, Zach Poole, show me what you got. Manufactured touch. He can't get to the outside. We lose 3. And that's a really disastrous start to this drive. It's immediately 2nd and long. We might try to get to Zach Poole again here. Hopefully they don't play this. No, they're going to let us have that. Zach Poole, decent way to get some of that back. And we're going to have no more plays before the end of the third quarter. We're going to go straight to quarter number 4. This is a big 3rd and 4. We will be waiting. Although I do like to run against double mug. I feel like it's mostly pretty effective because those guys just kind of get sucked inside and you can bounce to the outside. But yeah, we're gonna see what they decide to do in the 4th quarter. They could line up in the same look. Could be a different look. I think we're gonna try and pass against it. All hitch is like an interception waiting to happen. I feel like I need to have some type of shallow cross on the field. And the crowd's getting loud. I mean, this is not the game right here, but it's a big play in the game. Boozer! Errant throw from Streeter. And that's why he might not even end up being the starting quarterback next year. That's simply a throw you can't miss that badly. It's a really, really bad miss, especially, you know, because of what it means. It means Miami gets the football back, and it's a close game. 1-score game. We know they can go back to running the football if they want to. That can't be unnecessary roughness on Alani Allen. That'd be such a ridiculous call. That's 15 yards for no reason. That can't be unnecessary roughness. Oh, that's a horrendous call on Alani Allen. The home cooking is in. I mean, you just can't say it's that late. He initiates contact. He's not even fully out yet. Brother. That is a weak call. Play action. How about a ball don't lie moment? Go after Willie Allen this time. Tripucka's 5th catch. Now over 60 yards receiving. Into the final 8 minutes. That's crunch time here in Dynasty land. We got to stand tall. Stay strong on defense. Get the football. We got to tackle better, too. There's a big hit from Christian Ellis. I like to go for the hit sticks a lot. Sometimes to my detriment, but sometimes to the result of a huge play. Now, I can't recall any time a hit stick has actually resulted in a fumble for me, but I would think it's possible. 3rd and 2. We're going to have to blitz at it. They're going to spread the receivers out. Man coverage on the running back. We're going to help to the inside, but there's a slant, and there is a first down. Judd Anderson starting to find it here against our defense. It's a 1-possession game. They're going to need a 2-point conversion if they can find the end zone. But it is a 1-possession game. They can go up the middle here. Merriman did a good job of taking that away. 2nd and goal from the 4. Man coverage. A little bit worried about these matchups. They could still absolutely run the ball at us. They're going to, and they're going to find the end zone. Touchdown, Hurricanes. All right, well, that's a good drive. We've had a tough time stopping the run the entire game. And, yeah, sure, we've made a nice play or two, but we've had a tough time stopping the run. And a lot of our backups are in. But what are we going to do? Call a timeout on the 2-point conversion? Absolutely not. And that's going to be intercepted by Vance off of a tip. And we'll hold the lead. Barely, but we will hold the lead. 6 minutes to go. A touchdown would give us a lot of breathing room. Let's have a long drive. End with a touchdown. And we're going to be feeling pretty good. Oh, 66 Kerry Exum. Why are we not blocking? I need to take a second look at this. I need to. Why does 66 block nobody? That's Kerry Exum. I thought for sure was going to pick up the linebacker. He runs right by him. For what? What's the point of climbing up to the next level if you don't even make contact with the linebacker? We'll cut back. All right, that's a good gain of 3. That looked a lot longer than 3 yards. But we're taking time off the clock. I'd love to see Joey Boozer end up going over 100 in this one. Feels unlikely. He's got probably what? And that didn't really feel like 3 yards. He's banged up. It's a big 3rd and 4. Boozer stays in the game. Crowd going crazy. We're going to have to get rid of it quickly. Boozer's wrapped up. He'll lose 3. I mean, they got in the backfield instantly. Our options were basically non-existent. Who was unblocked here? Wow. The edge, number 12. Our right tackle tried to shift inside for some reason to take on the 3 tech. It's actually not even lined up there. It's insane. I mean, he ends up picking it up, but I mean, how was I supposed to know at this point when he's around the edge? Had to get rid of it. I think Zach Poole's an interception if we throw it. I think that's getting picked off. Our best option was where we went, but Boozer, being so banged up, couldn't make anybody miss, and we will have to punt. Now, it's interesting that it's apparently 26-23. It's not. We have 1 point in the fourth quarter. We don't. It's 25-23 almost certainly, right? Thought I saw that. That's confusing, but we're going to play like we're only up 2. Of course, we're going to have to punt in this spot. It's not something I want to do. That could have been a better punt as well. Ugh. All right, defense. Under 3 minutes to play. It's a big game. I mean, Miami fought right back in this game. Our defense really has not been good enough in this one. I mean, well, how do I even say that? Because that's not the problem. Our defense has forced 3 turnovers, and we only have 25 points. Our offense has not come to play. It's just our defense hasn't been shut down in the second half. Is this a screen? It is. We're all over it. Morgan Merriman, big hit, tackle for loss. Read that well. And it's 3rd and 5. You'd have to assume 4-down territory for the Canes, so we can't get too crazy here. Need Rich Tobias or somebody to make a play. That's a big, big hit. No catch. 4th and 5. Do we trust man coverage? I think we're going to have to. Everyone, win your one-on-ones, make a play. 4th and 5. Throw underneath. Don't bring him to the first. They're short. Thank God. If he would have been dragged to the 1st down marker, I would have lost my mind. We might need to take Joey Boozer out of the game. He's too banged up right now. Jamal Moses, the freshman back, has the highest carrying on the team. We're actually going to move him to RB1 right now. And we don't want to fumble. Moses should help us not fumble the ball. You know, he doesn't look that big. He is a power back. And this makes it's a really weird 3rd and 9 here. I mean, I don't think we can just play to run the ball. We need the first. We might need those timeouts, but we're going to call one here. My gut says call a timeout. Get a different play in there. Potentially even get Joey Boozer back in the game. High risk of injury, but it doesn't really look like he has any detractors right now. Even with high risk of injury. What play is the best chance to get 9 yards here? I don't really like any of them, to be honest. I mean, curl flats is asking to get picked, probably. But they're going to press it. We're probably just going to streak those guys, and maybe somebody wins. I think maybe a comeback route for Higdon could be good. Branham on an out. Or maybe a wheel would be good. All right. Here's 3rd and 9. No! I thought we streaked him. He beat press instantly. Came back to make the play. You guys know I don't like going up 6 late in games, or the same idea with that, right? Because, you know, it just incentivizes a touchdown. 23-28, I don't really think helps us that much. Honestly. I really don't. We're going to look to run the ball here. Joey Boozer. I need 3. He is banged up still, but he got it. QB kneel, victory formation. We're going to walk out of here with a win. 25 or 26, 25-23 is your final. You can't really score 1 point. You can house an interception on a 2-point conversion to get 1 point, but that would be interesting. Didn't end up happening, but we got credit for it in the scoreboard, but not in the actual scoreboard. I don't know. Either way, hard-fought win there to beat the top 10 ranked Miami Hurricanes. It's a big win. It's a big game, and we didn't play perfect in this one. 12 for 19 for 153, touchdown and a pick for Henry Streeter. Rushing, Boozer goes 16 for 70. Touchdown, though, for Streeter on the ground. And then receiving, 3 for 73 for Zach Poole with a touchdown. Long of 67. Nobody else really contributed all that much. We're just really not throwing the ball enough to get big-time stats, you know? 3 TFLs for Rich Tobias, 2 for Keontae Crick, 1 for Merriman and Mitch Dora, 3 sacks for Rich Tobias, 1 for Keontae Crick with interceptions for Merriman and Allen. Love to see it. Forced fumble for Willingham was recovered by Christian Ellis, who of course would score the touchdown. This was a big game. You know, we almost blew it there in the end, but we held on, we got the win, and now all we can hope for is that the 5-star defensive tackle, Reed Pfeiffer, gives us a chance and does not commit to Georgia. But he's probably going to commit to Georgia. And at that point, we can take him off our board. His deal breaker's Coach Prestige, and Kirby Smart's Coach Prestige is not going down anytime soon. So let's just hope he doesn't commit to Georgia. He probably will, but maybe we get lucky enough that he doesn't, and we get a chance to actually have him on campus. Rich Tobias was your ACC Defensive Player of the Week after a 3-sack, 3 TFL performance. He was a beast. He's also your National Defensive Player of the Week as a result. If we look at Rich Tobias here, as Georgia Tech just upset Notre Dame, Rich Tobias, his abilities are not great, right? He's got Platinum Recoup, Bronze Road Dog, Gold the Natural. Not that helpful. Only Impact Dev Trait, and he's maxed out as a player pretty much. He can get a little bit better, not a lot better. But he had a great game. But yeah, I don't know what his future with the team's going to be. He's pretty much as good as he's going to be. I mean, I see Jake Keenan probably off the edge. Keontae Crick moving to defensive tackle full-time after these two graduate. It's probably what happens. All right, let's see recruiting. Tell me he didn't commit. He committed to Georgia. I wish we could see how close it got. We actually might be able to in prospect list. He was a top 10 player of the nation. It was always going to be a really tough commitment to win. And he would have been a great pickup. In the end, we needed him to just not commit and then win him over on the visit. Just didn't end up happening. So Reed Pfeiffer, unfortunately, we can take off the board. We get more hours back, so that's good. 65 of them, but it's not great. I would have preferred to have the player. Pfeiffer is done, but we still have a big visit. Darren Lynch on campus. I think he will be committing to Trenton State here. It's just the bye week. This is going to be a big get. 86 finesse moves, 86 acceleration. This is the type of player that I think could start as a true freshman. He's not a 5-star or anything, but he looks like he's about as close as you can get without being a 5-star. We're going to spread these 65 hours around, maybe even focus on a player or two. I mean, there's also a good chance that there are some highly ranked players without closed commitments at this point. Maybe not 5-stars. Although there's a right tackle that maybe we can get in on. Max Komar. We might go for it. I mean, he's a 5-star tackle. That feels like that's not the worst idea in the world. Is this irresponsible? It might be better to put points on somebody else. I know we don't need corner that badly, and that's why I'm kind of avoiding that guy. But Max Komar, I mean, we have good grades in a lot of these different areas. I think if we put, if we put 55 points on him right now, I think we could probably get inside the top 8. We're going to offer a scholarship to 4-star route runner Henry Kenoy. Still going after some other receivers, but I think we're about to get Duke Mwamba. Kenoy could be a good route runner to add to the class. Mike Clinton as well, we're going after. Could put more points on him, but I think getting in the mix for another offensive lineman, not a bad idea, especially when he's a 5-star. So Max Komar hopefully will consider us, and we will simulate to week 7. We're going to get good news this week. We're going to get a commitment from the edge rusher. the 4-star. We're 5-0, 2-0 in the conference, still the #1 team in the nation. We're going to get a lot of hours back here because we're going to get a new commitment. Duke Mwamba has committed to Trenton State. He is a 5-star receiver, the deep threat from Horn Lake, Mississippi. 6'4", 193 with 88 spectacular catch, 93 speed, 94 acceleration. He's got bronze shifty and layout, platinum road dog, silver fan favorite, bronze winning time, 92 agility as well, 79 deep route running, 73 medium. This is a really good player. High catch in traffic already, high catching. What an addition to our class. And we should be getting good news as well. Colby Tribble, I guess, is a player. Don't remember going after him too heavily. Good-looking player, but yeah, we prioritize other things. Darrell Peter, we stopped recruiting, obviously. I think that's the same for Leonard Shaver, and that's okay. Darren Lynch is the 3rd to join the class. Maybe even was the 2nd, actually, at the time, but of course it doesn't pop up anymore. It's so dumb. You already know what he brings to the table. A ton of speed, good acceleration. Don't know about his abilities. He might not really have any. But he can definitely get after the quarterback. Big commitment. So we have 3 in the class already. We're not exactly making, keeping pace with Georgia. Fringe top 30 class. We're going to get in there. I mean, already a much better class than, anybody ahead of us with 2 4-stars committed and a 5-star. So this is already a pretty good class. Did we get in the mix on the tackle? Jake Schweitzer to Miami. And we're in the race on Komar. So the 55 points definitely was worth it, as we are in the mix now on a 5-star tackle. And now we have a ton of points to potentially go after a lot of these other guys. So I feel pretty good about where we are. Triplet, I don't really want to go after too heavily, but there is a quarterback in this class that I do like, Oliver Scherf, as you guys know. He's got a cannon with good accuracy and speed. Our quarterback's not exactly at the top of my list, but if we were going to bring anybody in the class, it would probably be him. But we have plenty of points here. We're going to be in a pretty good spot. And I mean, Mike Clinton's a 5-star with no physical abilities. It feels so dumb. Looks to be a pretty good player, though. Okay, so we have not recruited Deontay Crow enough. He's at Colorado week 7. This is week 7. Is he about to go to Colorado? That's one of those ones where it's like, do we even bother committing or recruiting him still? How good is he? He doesn't really have any abilities. He's a good player, but I mean, if Colorado wins in week 7, let's take a look at that. They've got number 20 TCU. Okay. 3-2. I mean, there's a chance Colorado loses that game, of course. It's just, do we want the guy bad enough to take the chance, right? And that might be where it just makes more sense to take points off of him and focus on other players. Because it's an extra 25 points. I really want Randall Nall in the class. He actually looks pretty insane. Proximity to home is really bad, which leads me to believe that maybe New Mexico State could make quite a comeback in this one. So we're probably going to try and heavily recruit Randall Nall. Now, this is a spot where that, maybe Sway makes sense because we have play time and we have playing style that really fit. But proximity to home is terrible. Can we get the top 2? I don't think we can. I don't think playing time and playing style ever match up other than the 1. No, it doesn't. So Sway doesn't make any sense. You really need 2 of 3 for Sway to be effective. We could soft sell it, though. No, we can't. We don't have the hours. We're just going to go. I think we're going to be better with just send the house as opposed to. No, A+, F. F is just so bad. All right, we'll try to hard sell it. I mean, we have a little bit of wiggle room here. So, all right. We'll hard sell. Is that going to be 5? It's 4. I feel like send the house is about the same, and it's 10 cheaper, so might as well. And we'll add the 25 on top. So, Randall Nall, fringe 5-star, 89 speed. He's got blow up. He's got great block shed. He's got great tackle pursuit, or good enough tackle pursuit. Deontay Crow, I think, is one where we give up. He's a good player, not a great player. With his acceleration, he's not going to get quick jump. So, this probably doesn't make sense for us. Oscar Waiters is an interesting off-ball linebacker. It looks fairly similar to the other linebacker we're going after, Randall Nall. But Waiters a little bit tinier. Academic prestige is terrible, but the other two grades are great. Duke really pursuing him. That makes sense with the academic prestige, right? I think if we really go for it, we can get him. I think we can chase down Duke, especially with... Can we do a Week 9 visit? That's next week against UMass, right? That's not. It's 2 weeks away. It's going to be a tight one. I think we really push, we can get him over Duke, but that might be a tough one. That might be one where it's just not worth it. Rashawn Dre, I think, is every bit as good as Deontay Crow, if not even better. I mean, he's ranked higher. He's a 5-star. We have a better chance of getting him, right? So I'm going to say that Rashawn Dre, we're going to continue to go after, obviously. And Deontay Crow, we are going to give up on. He'll go to Colorado or somewhere else. That's fine. I might want to add a pass rushing outside linebacker in this class. I'm a little bit worried, actually, about New Mexico State in this one. I almost want to get Randall Nall on campus Week 9. I think we're going to play it safe. That's worth the 40 hours to me. Especially because we're, trying to pull him out of the West. I think that's going to be tough. There's a lot of time left in this recruitment. I don't want New Mexico State to win it. We got one visit week left. It's Week 9. So, I mean, it's a team we should absolutely smash. It's 5-1 UMass. To their credit, they're having a great season, but I think it's going to be important to get him on campus. Georgia Tech making a big push for free safety Lamonte Hennessy. It's a great name, and they're putting a lot of work. We unfortunately can't bring Hennessy on campus because he already has a visit Week 9. He's headed to Florida. But if we want Lamonte Hennessy, I think we've got a decent chance to get him. All these guys want academic prestige. Our academic prestige is absolutely terrible. And it will literally never go up. So if you're smart, man, it's a pretty bad fit for you here at Trenton State. We're going to have to just max out. And all we can do is 65. But I do want Lamonte Hennessy. We're not really recruiting defense that well this time around. Which is fine, I guess. Probably need to put more points on Tracy Tolbert if we want him. Offensive guard from Upper Marlboro, Maryland. Upper Marlboro. I'm having a tough time saying Marlboro. It's going to be Conference Spotlight. So we know what it is. We can do the 40 and feel pretty good about it. That is 55 of 65. And I think that's going to be enough to beat out Pitt. Now, Pitt and West Virginia do have the pipeline bonus. So that actually could complicate things slightly. We'll add the 25 to max out at 65 there. Only 30 hours remaining. Alan Carmona is just not very good. And Komar, we're in a good spot. I think we need to add more points on Alex Salmon. Very good looking offensive lineman. This is one of those where we need to max out here. And now that we're into the top 5 on him, of course, we can hard sell. And our grades match up really, really well. Whenever I see, multiple A or A pluses, I feel pretty good about it. Now, it's not perfect. Proximity to home's a B-, but that's still going to be a pretty huge sway there, or pretty huge sell. And we'll put an extra 25 on him. We just need to take 5 off of somebody else, which... Who's that going to be? We offered a scholarship to Kenoy. We should probably recruit him at least a little bit. I'm going to take 5 off Scherf for now. He's just a backup quarterback. He can be a gem. Just when is he actually going to see the field? I'm going to say it's less important. And I wanted to put him on Alex Salmon, right? Yeah, so I'll have the 25 on him. We're putting a lot of points on these players, but that's really the way you want to do it a lot of the time. Put as many points on the guys you actually want as possible. Gives you obviously the best chance to get those players. And there are, a number of guys that we're not really going after a ton anymore. Like Oscar Waiters, there was a chance, but I think it's better to spend those points in other places. And, I mean, we should be getting some new commitments fairly soon. Like, Rashawn Dre is really close. I fear that TCU could come out of nowhere, to be honest, week 8. I'm hoping it doesn't get to that point. But I guess that's a possibility. But we should get 65 points back from him in due time. Okay, UNC on the schedule. I promised a doubleheader in this one. We're finally going to get it. And I don't know. Do we go blackout for this one? I think we're just going to go with the default. This is going to be a potentially tough game. UNC is a talented team. But so are we, right? So just beat Miami. I'd like to play a little bit better on a down-to-down basis. Against Miami, we had some splash plays, and we had a lot of bad plays. If we can find the consistency, I think we're going to find the win. So let's just play our game and beat these Tar Heels. Tar Heels Titans coming up next. Our stadium's actually getting pretty loud here. Here's a screen, nothing doing. Byron Willingham. Big tackle to make it 3rd and 6. UNC going to spread them out. Trips right, gun empty. And they have a route over the top that's wide open. Willie Allen gets beat as well. They had every option in the world on the right side of that field. Our field side DBs were just not nearly good enough. I mean, that was pretty incredibly bad. The slot receiver could not have been more open. Or the second receiver. That guy's got an arm going through his neck. And then Willie Allen got torched. I can't wait for those corners who are redshirted right now to be available next season. We've got some good ones, especially ones with great speed. But they had a touchdown pretty much anywhere they wanted it. UNC is going to be up early, 7-0. That's roughing the kicker. Doesn't matter. It's wide open. Streeter to Emmett Lemons. When life gives you lemons, you tie up the game. Nope. Emmett Lemons brought down to the 15, and he's hurt immediately. It's unfortunate. Instant karma. Good play, though. That was great. Emmett Lemons a little banged up. Hopefully he sits out a play or two. Here's 1st and 10. Going split back. I don't love the options here. Streeter does have exceptional speed, but nobody really bid on that. I'll tell you what. Zach Poole was calling for the ball in the end zone. I might have been tempted, but I think the right move was to scramble for as many yards as we could, and that should be a good play. There's Clay Ivy. Better throw, and that actually leads him up the field. We're going to bring in Alex Higdon for Emmett Lemons. Less speed, but at least he's going to be healthy. 3rd and 4. Get out with Streeter. Scrambling and finding the end zone. Another rushing touchdown for Henry Streeter. It's not an uncommon occurrence. It's not at all. You guys know that. I love having a mobile quarterback because if I can't just sit in the pocket and make a good read and make a good throw sometimes, just get out there on the run, on the move, make something happen. And it's 7-7 as a result. Not a lot of defense being played in this one so far. Let's play action. We should be all over that, though, but not that. Green is wide open on the sideline. We really couldn't have been farther away from that. It was as open as you'll probably ever see a route. I mean, the touchdown earlier was more covered than that was. And that's just too many yards in that spot. It's not even Amarion Hampton anymore. And we're still getting annihilated by the UNC running back. It's just way too many yards. This UNC offense is cooking, by the way. We need to figure out a solution now. That's wide open. Just couldn't get there. I mean, Melvin Temple is just carving us up. That's a tight end Whitehead from Texas again. Freshman for UNC. Big-time recruit to be starting as a true freshman. It's a good tackle from Willingham. We need a turnover or something. I mean, UNC is just driving. They've had no resistance so far. We need somebody to make a big play. Let's figure it out who it's going to be. to the sideline, which is not even close. They're going to run the ball. I think he's going to be stopped short, but Merriman pushes him over the line. They may have gone for it anyway if it was 4th and short, but it would have been 4th and short instead. First down for UNC. Big tackle from DJ Grimes. UNC will lose a yard. Take the TFL. Play action. We got to get there. Quarterback takes off. I mean, they had a touchdown or they had the scramble. We'll allow the scramble instead. It's 3rd and 6 as we approach the end of the first quarter. In fact, this might be the final play of the first quarter. We got to get out there. Or we got to bring down the quarterback, Jake Keenan. What a way to end the first quarter. UNC might go up here 10-7. But either way, that's a good way to bend a lot. But we didn't break. And it's still a very manageable lead to overcome. Just 3 points. Yep, barely gets in, but it's 3. How about Joey Boozer breaks one? How cool would that be? Oh, it hops over pile of bodies, but they're going to credit him with 0 yards. No forward progress there? Feels insane. It's a super bad animation. There's Zach Poole. It's only a gain of 4 or 5. Move, get on the move. No! One guy to beat, we couldn't do it. We do scramble for a first down with Streeter, but it could have been a lot more. More Joey Boozer, please. I'm waiting to break one. We haven't seen one in a couple games now. 3rd and inches. We're definitely going to go for it on 4th if we don't get it here. I mean, that's a really bad run play. It's a really bad run play. Because we had Branham and our left guard that step up and block nobody. Terrible. 4th and 3. I think we have Poole straight up the seam again. Zach Poole touchdown. I mean, that almost works as a slant. It's like this little glance route. It's like a skinny post or kind of like a deep crosser. He gets pretty vertical and just takes a slight step or two maybe towards the other side of the field. Easy touchdown. I mean, he's just got too much speed. Saw that against Miami. UNC has now learned the hard way. An entertaining first half so far. Trying to remain undefeated. Morgan Merriman, that's a great play to contain the quarterback. In fact, if we actually play defense here in this drive, we're actually going to be able to get the football back and potentially score before half. That's what we're trying to do. Definitely want to score before the half. 3rd and 4. We average 10 yards allowed when we call this. So, it's a little bit of a risky call. That's going to be a good route. It's tough to stop. Get to the QB. We're blocked on the running back, dude. Oh, that's so annoying to get stuck. There we go. Finally, someone gets to this quarterback. He's scrambling all around, and he's consistently making plays. Finally, we're able to keep him in the pocket, bring him down. 3rd and 12. QB contain. I mean, we should be able to pass commit here. Don't let them get it all back. Quarterback going to take off. Dora all over him. We're going to call a timeout. UNC going to call field goal here. It's kind of a long one. Kind of a long one. See if they have any chance. Here is the kick. And that is right down the middle. More than enough leg as well. All right, their kicker can kick a little bit, huh? 42 seconds. We're going to step up here. Come on, Streeter. Call our second timeout. Sometimes the scramble just seems like a better move than just throwing it up when we don't necessarily have to. 2nd and 1. We're going to get on the move. There's so much space. We're going to get out of bounds here. Save that timeout. Streeter takes maybe an unnecessary hit. But it's guaranteed yardage if they're not going to cover him. I think we need to be able to take that. Does Poole have a step here? He might. He makes the catch. Let's go hurry up. Let's save that timeout. Clock is going to stop while they spot the ball, of course. We want to save that final timeout. If we just get into field goal range, that'd be incredible. Let's get it over the top. For Zach Poole, please! Dropped in the bucket, and he dropped it! Devastating. 15 seconds. Higdon coming in motion. The play action is obviously not going to fool anybody here. We're going to get sacked. That's where we call our final timeout. I'm not going to run it here. 3rd and 18. Now what do we do? 7 seconds from the 48. I mean, if we can make this play last 7 seconds, we can just lob it up here down the field, and I don't think they're going to have a chance to answer. It's a little bit risky, though. It's a little bit risky. But, I mean, a chance is better than no chance. That's caught by Higdon, but not close to the end zone. And that is the half. Start of the 3rd quarter, we get the football. It's part of why taking that sack was so bad, because we're forced to call that timeout. We get out of field goal range, and we get the football. So, you know, we could have had a real nice opportunity to really extend this lead. Instead, up by 1, and an entire half of football to play. It's been tougher to stop these opposing offenses in recent weeks. Decent blocks. Boozer, just make him miss, please. We have not had that make you miss element recently. Wide open. Durante Basher. Brandon, you just can't drop the ball there. I just tried to get him a touch because he hasn't really been getting the football lately. And maybe for good reason. You cannot drop the ball there. And there's an opportunity to do something there with Zach Poole. We can't find it. 3rd and 4. Based on where we are in the field, I feel good about running the ball here. And that's a nice play. All right. Boozer up the middle. He gets 10 plus. He's got that 360 ability. We really should be spinning with him more than juking. And I think we do. But, you know, sometimes we do break out that juke move. Just the spin is more effective with that 360 ability, especially if we can get that upgraded. I'm not sure if it's ever going to get up to, you know, even silver. But I would love for it to. No, 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 no! Yes! I meant to throw to the flat. There was X instead of B. Which usually X is on the left side of the field and B is not. Unless I hit X instead of B accidentally. I wanted the flat. I wanted to throw a little screen there. Emmett Lemons gets his touchdown. Nearly had one in this video, but he ended up being just short. Not this time. Manufactured touch. He's got really good speed. And when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. 21-13. Could consider going for 2 in this spot. Make it a 2-possession game. I don't think that's a bad choice. But we'll settle for 8 and force them to try a 2-point conversion at some point if they are even able to find the end zone again. We'll see. Oh, that's no good. That's a bad angle. Okay. Well, we need to take less of those, is my review of a bad angle. And a turnover here would be so great. Please just get the football. Okay. That's going to be a big play. It's too many yards. I'll tell you, we have trouble against teams that run hurry up. You know, they keep us not being able to match up sometimes defensively. Please get to the QB. Make a play, Shameik Jones. And also, they tire out our defense in a hurry. That was a nice play, though. Shameik Jones is really not a name we call out very much. And he's one of our higher-rated defenders. He needs to make more of an impact. You need to get after the quarterback. Big hit, Mitch Dora. Melvin Temple scrambles to 4th and short. UNC going to try a kick. It's the right move here, I think, in the 3rd quarter. The kick is good. This way, a touchdown just would outright give you the lead. You don't have to worry about tying it with a 2-point conversion. So you need your team to play defense if you're UNC. Would I have gone for it in that spot? You know what? I probably would have. But I like to be aggressive. It's a 5-point game. Let's go, Boozer. There we go. Joey Boozer gets 9. He hasn't had that big run that we've seen. 8 attempts for 41 yards is not exactly, you know, Heisman Trophy type numbers. And they showed that he was, you know, somebody to watch for the Heisman going into that Miami game. I wonder if they still feel the same way. He'll get the final touch here of the 3rd quarter. And I'll tell you what, we're not really trying to bounce anything outside and potentially rip off a huge one. We're just trying to follow those blocks and pick up, 4, 5, 6 yards a carry would be phenomenal. And, you can really lose yards in a hurry when you bounce a lot of these runs outside when there's some type of opening inside. I'm not saying I'm reading everything perfectly, but, guaranteeing those yards as a runner is really important. Going north-south, what we need to probably do is run from this camera. Things just tend to open up a lot more, and you can be really a lot more effective. Oh, Zach Poole, you got to catch it. I mean, we maybe had Emmett Lemons on the streak. Just felt like we were going to lead that right into the safety. Held onto the football, tried to scramble. Crazy decision to throw on the run, but I thought we had it. It hit Zach Poole in the hands. He did not make the catch. There goes Streeter. He got to outrun 27. He's going to. He steps out of bounds at the 32. They're giving us space to throw that screen. Zach Poole gets 7. And this is where we run the ball. This is where Joey Boozer takes us to the end zone. Take us to the promised land, Joey. Tried to go one cut. Just could not find the space. A little motion here. I swear I called motion split zone, and that's not what this is. You know how I know? There's no running back. Let's bring Boozer back into the backfield. We might have just enough time to snap the ball here. All right, that should be the first. How do we not get the call there? That felt like more than enough, to be honest. Gonna go inside zone. Russ Cleveland into the game. Show us you can get it. All right, that's enough. Little bubble screen to Zach Poole. There we go, Zach. I'm changing camera angles a lot, but I think, you can really get, in better spots to actually see what's going on. It's something that maybe a lot of you don't take advantage of, well, even myself, a lot. Because there's some really good options where if you're throwing streaks, I maybe want to see the outside receivers, right? So you can go to this camera angle and really see a lot more of the field. And they did not run with that. There's Clay Ivy. Yes, Jesus. Come on, Joey. Get in the end zone here. He's just not making anybody miss lately. That's a problem when you play running back. You don't really want to be only as good as your offensive line. Ideally, you'd be a little bit better. Here's 3rd and goal from the 3. Joey Boozer. There's a big spin back, but he can't get in. I do like the idea of going for it here. That's the 2-minute timeout here. 4th quarter. We're going to go up the gut. A touchdown here ends the game. That's why we're going for it. 3 isn't a bad idea, but a touchdown here I think ends the game. Boozer stops short. Again, I like the idea. I like staying aggressive. We didn't get it. We did not get it. And now we need our defense to stop UNC. They need to go 99 yards. And I don't know that they're going to have much of a problem doing that, to be honest. They're not going hurry up, though, which is kind of a surprise. I was really playing for safety there. Up the middle. Oh, no. Good bounce. There's a flag, though. This one's coming back. It's going to be half the distance to the goal. It's going to be a hold. And that's going to make this, a bit of a challenge here for UNC. Not a ton because of where they are, but they're backed up to their own 2. And could definitely run the ball here. Mitch Dora with the big stop. No, but Willingham brings him down. Safety. Dora got to him first. Willingham finished the play. I don't know how many times I have to remind you. He's a #1 recruit in the nation. And like a heat-seeking missile, he cleaned up the trash there. Like, not that heat-seeking missiles clean up trash, but he was like a heat-seeking missile, and he cleaned up what Mitch Dora could not finish. 23-16. Going for it ends up being the right decision. And UNC is going to find themselves in a pretty tough spot. They will need a 3-and-out to have a chance. Anything else, they lose. Maybe cut up the middle there, I don't know. 2nd and 6. Boozer just does not have the burst right now. 20 attempts for only 71 yards. But I think in this spot, we absolutely need to keep it on the ground. Maybe a wide receiver screen. No, it's just a little bit too risky. I think we need to get them to call their final timeout. We're going to run the ball here. We're going to not get anything. 1 minute on the clock. Got some wind here to aid us with this punt. Let's get a good one. Been a while since we had a really good punt. That's going to be about as much as we can ask for. We're going to get a slight return. Wasted 8 seconds, right? We kicked it with 1, or we snapped the ball with 1 minute. UNC has a very real chance to knock us off here. It's 23-16. And there's a throwaway. That's probably roughing the passer or something. No call. We need to keep them in front of us here. We need to play conservatively. We cannot get beat. Oh, the quarterback has all the room to run, but he didn't take it. Lucky. Give cushion here. 3rd and 10. They're going to dial up a screen. It's not there. Tackle made by Morgan Merriman. And again, we're going to play very conservatively. 4th and 6. Game on the line for UNC. They need a first down, and then they need a touchdown in a hurry. Morgan Merriman, get a hand up! Are you joking? I'm in position with Merriman. We hit X to go up and knock the ball down. He doesn't jump. UNC going to spike the ball. They have 15 seconds here. 15 seconds. Oh my God. Back everybody up here. A touchdown ends the game. Well, with the extra point, UNC goes on top. No, they don't. They only have 16. Oh, that's wide open. Why did I thought it was like, I thought we had 24. They had 17. I thought we were up by 6. That's not the case. We have a 7-point lead. So we actually are very unlikely to lose in regulation. We usually don't see 23-16. So kind of a weird spot there. It's going to be a touchdown UNC with a second to go. They're going to kick the extra point here. And they're going to tie it at 23. And we're going to head to overtime. Unless we can do something miraculous in 1 second. Our defense collapsed. UNC has tied the game. Come on, Salmon. He's got great speed. We just need to get into the open field. It's not going to happen. We are headed to overtime against unranked North Carolina here in Trenton. Let's just start on defense. I feel like we never do. We won the toss. We're going to start on defense. We're going to know what we need. And we need to play a lot better than we did on that final drive. UNC got too many big plays when they needed them. Overtime rules, if you guys don't know. You each start from the 25. You basically have to answer whatever they do or better, right? So in our scenario, if we hold them to 3 or fewer, touchdown wins the game, right? If we hold them to 0, field goal wins the game. If they score a touchdown, we score a touchdown, we will start with the ball for the second overtime period and then do it all over again. That's going to be intercepted by Alani Allen. This could be the game right here. No, it's Willie Allen. Excuse me. Willie with the interception. Willie Allen has made it so we can just kick a field goal and win the game. Now, is it too far? Do we feel like we can make it? I think we're going to try to run the ball, get a couple extra yards, and then kick a game-winning field goal. I mean, I'm slightly worried about a fumble, right? But you see a lot of teams, I mean, the Bears notably, have been in, a bunch of different scenarios with a bunch of different head coaches where they've been in spots like these, and they opt to just kick a field goal on like second down. I might personally care for some extra yards. And we can kick the field goal on 4th down. Now, the reason you might want to kick it on 3rd in real life, in case you get a botched snap, you can just go down. Boozer's going to be really banged up, but he gets us 7 total yards, and it's going to be a chip shot field goal to win it. UNC going to try to ice us. Doesn't really exist very much in this game. Here we go. Kick is up, and there's no doubt about it. We survive an upset here. 26-23 is your final. These have been some close games. It's 2 overtime games in the same video. Back-to-back games for us. Doesn't really matter that we were coming off a bye. UNC played us really, really tight. Our defense has been lackluster here in recent weeks. We made some big plays when we needed to, but we also allowed some big plays when we really couldn't afford to. 400 yards of total offense. We allowed only 320, but what happened here? They averaged more than 10 yards a pass. Is pretty bad. 15 of 19 for 247 for Streeter, 2 touchdowns. Again, we're kind of struggling to run the ball. Boozer goes 24 for 76, no touchdowns again. Streeter is much more effective. And then receiving, Zach Poole is our number 1, man. 7 for 92, touchdown for Emmett Lemons. You know, of course, that big 60-yard bomb. Higdon had a 45-yard catch to end the first half. Didn't end up mattering at all. 2 TFLs for Shymeek Jones. Great game for him. And I said we needed a big game from him, or needed to see more big plays from him. 1.5 sacks as well. Willingham, 2 TFLs from the free safety spot is pretty incredible. 1 for Keenan, DJ Grimes, Rich Tobias, and Ciante Crick, with a sack for Jay Keenan, half a sack for Tobias and Crick. Interception for Willie Allen. Ended up winning us the game, really. That was a pretty incredible game. We remain undefeated. Big Week 7 win. And hopefully we get good news on the recruiting trail here. I'm hoping to see a commitment here. I'd love to see Rashawn Dre join the class. Big 5-star defensive end as we were going to go take on Virginia Tech. They were ranked preseason, and even maybe at the start of this episode, but no longer. Rashawn Dre is a week away. He will be in the class. I'm slightly afraid of TCU. I'm not going to lie. He's got a visit there this week. But I feel really good about him joining the class. I mean, we could be devastated, but I feel pretty good about it. How do we have a championship contender and not A+? We're the number 1 team in the nation. Feels like a stupid grade. But I'm hoping we end up getting him. Alex Salmon, pacing pretty well. Tracy Tolbert building up a big lead now. Pulling away on Randall Nall after putting more points on him. And we have a Week 9 visit. I feel good about that recruitment now at this point. Oklahoma trying to get in the mix for tight end Mike Cook. We might end up throwing more points on him. I mean, he's a high 4-star, number 1 tight end in the nation. We should maybe recruit him more. And Lamonte Hennessy, we have been passed up by Georgia Tech. I mean, we put 65 points on him. I don't think it's necessarily over. I mean, we were right there. Do we leave, send the house on him, or do we go with a hard sell? I mean, at this point, I'm not sure we can necessarily afford to be wrong. Now, we know what his wants are, right? But we just don't necessarily meet those goals that he has. Academic prestige is terrible. Proximity to home is good, not great. Coach prestige is very good, but is it good enough? How many points would this be? It is 5. All right. We're gonna go with the hard sell at this point, and then we're gonna add contact friends and family. It's a different way to orient the 25 points, but it includes a hard sell with an A- in the mix, so maybe that's enough to beat Georgia Tech. Either way, we're gonna figure out if he's in the class or out of the class next week. He's going to be committed one way or another. Taking a nice lead on Max Komar. Deontay Crow does pick Colorado. Oscar Waiters did not commit to Duke. So that's maybe a recruitment we could have won, but we pulled the scholarship and we stopped recruiting him. He's going to go to Duke now for sure. But I'm okay with it. We gambled to go after other players, and I do think it ends up being the right call. I think our class is going to be better for it. You know, it does suck to lose out on a player that we did, go after a decent bit, but I think in the end it's the right move. Sam Good's a really good receiving option. Definitely want to add him to the class, so I think we might even hard sell here. The grades are good. This is someone we'd want on campus, for sure. And I think this recruitment's going to be over prior to the Iowa State visit. So I think we're good in that way. Proximity to home, is that a thing? It probably is. Yeah, it's proximity to home. So we're going to put 20 points on Bobby Folin. The Gators passed us on this running back who's quite good. This is somebody I want in the class. We just don't necessarily have the hours to make it possible at this point. Well, not right now. I mean, it's possible overall. UAB making a push. This is one where I feel like if Georgia wants Mike Clinton, they could make a move at the last second. He is the number 7 player in the nation, the number 1 in the state of Florida, number 1 receiver. He doesn't look amazing. He looks solid, but no abilities, kind of throws me off there a little bit. But I like where we are mostly right now. I don't really want to take points off of anybody, but if I were to... No, I think we're going to hold on. I think we're going to keep it where we are. O-line's really important. Don't really want to get passed up. There are guys down the board here that have no offers that maybe we could offer on with those points. I'm talking myself into it. No, that's Rashawn Dre, though. Do I want Purdue to have any chance to get back in this? I think 45 is going to be good enough. Oh, but TCU's making a push as well. I'll do 50. No, I won't. I'm going to do 25. I don't want to freak lose out on a 5-star. But I'll take 25 off of Salmon. We're in a good spot here. No, I can't. I don't think we're going to get him if I do that. I'd love to make a decision, though. We can take 25 off of Tracy Tolbert, though. I'll leave him at 40 for now. Good player with the abilities. Don't really know how actually good he is. Randall Nall, I feel good about. We're going to leave the points there. Hennessy, we're going after to the brutal end. Good, we added points on. Komar, we probably don't need his extra 5. And I'm going to offer scholarships here to some of the guys at the bottom of our board, especially these 4 stars without offers. Let's get in the mix for those guys. For sure. Now, we offered on the 4 stars. Scholarship's going to be good enough for now. Waiters, we don't want. So we're going to take him off the board. But we offered scholarships to a lot of these guys down here. The 3 stars, not yet. We're going to get locked out on some of those guys. But some of these 3 stars already have interest. So I don't think these are going to be terribly tough recruitments once we actually get the points to recruit those guys. Lamonte Hennessy, 65 points. We're getting 65 points back next week. Rashawn Dre is committing. We're getting 65 points back next week. And then we're going to have to put points on Mike Clinton if we want him in the class. But no matter what, we're getting over 100 points back. 130 points back next week, right? So we're going to be good. We're going to be good. That's the video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the doubleheader. And I'll see you in the next one for the Virginia Tech game. Take it easy.